Amen. Are we ready for the word this morning? Amen. This word is divided into two. We're speaking both to the mothers in the house, but we're also trying to use the womb of the mothers to preach to every one of us. So I'm going to step on your womb of giving birth and give birth to something in our lives. So we're not just talking about Mother's Day only, but we're going to talk about the character of a mother who starts to instruct, who starts to teach, and who starts to uplift. So although this message does not specifically say Mother's Day, it is because we are piggybacking on what mothers do and mothers instruct. So if you would love, turn with me to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 6 to 8. Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 6 to 8. Oh, I know why you're here. The other one has capitulated, conked out. Okay, so you're on. Some people don't understand it. They will understand it later. The one has just fallen off the wayside. The other one's up. Okay, let's see how strong you are. Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 6 to 8. When we were at Mount Sinai, the Lord our God said to us, "You have stayed at this mountain long enough. It is time to break camp and move on. You have stayed at this mountain long enough. You have stayed at this mountain long enough. You have stayed at this mountain long enough. It is time to what? Break camp and what? Move on." I didn't hear you upstairs. It's time to what? Break camp and what? Come on, downstairs. It's time to what? And what? Move on. He says, now go to the hill countries of the Amorites and to all the neighboring regions, to the Jordan Valley, to the hill country, to the western foothills, to the Negev, and to the coastal plains. Go to the land of the Canaanites. Go to Lebanon. Go all the way to the great Euphrates River. And all these things that I'm reading, it makes sense. Can I encourage those? Believe God to go to Israel. No, I just need to encourage you. This is not in my message. I just believe God to get there. Make it a lifetime dream. Because as I was reading this, and some of you will know, it kind of makes sense as we go, and as we drove around those coastal areas. The covenant and the possession of the land was not given to them without a fight. As God was promoting the land that it will flow with milk and honey, so he was telling them that there's some people who are possessing the land you're about to take over. God promised the milk and honey, but also mentioned the enemies in the land that must be overcome. In the book of Exodus chapter 3 verse 17, the New Living Translation says, "I have promised to rescue you from your oppression in Egypt. I will lead you to a land flowing with milk and honey, the land where the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites now live. Now live. They're living there." That means to conquer the land, you must rise beyond your present circumstance and move to the next level. And my message still continues. It's up to you. It's up to you. Tap someone and say, it's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you. So this year, if we are going to rise, we have to deal with some preconceived mentalities and behaviors that stops us from rising. Because I know when we started this year, God said it is the year of our rising. I know it is the year of our rising. But the year of our rising doesn't mean that there's just a promise without a fight. There's a fight in there. And last week, we dealt with what was called entitlement mentality. The entitlement mentality. Some things that think we deserve to have without having it, without working for it. And as I said in the first service, you're not entitled to anything. The only thing you're entitled to is what you worked for. Mother's Day. How many mothers in the house? Say hallelujah. Hallelujah. Say I'm delivered. I'm delivered. You're delivered from your children. They're not entitled to it. They're not entitled to it. And we spoke about this entitlement mentality. The second level of mentality and behavior that I want to deal with this morning or afternoon is what I call the treadmill mentality. Bring my treadmill up. Treadmill mentality. We need to get rid of and rise and fight what I call a treadmill mentality. Welcome to the stage. You right? We're ready for this. Keep it going, man. What do I mean by a treadmill mentality? It is those people who are always moving yet going nowhere. The thing that bothers me about this mentality is the fact that it looks like many people are doing something, but nothing is actually happening. Do you know that people can see your effort while you're on the treadmill, but you're still stuck in one place? Like you're in a relationship God did not stamp. You're celebrated but not dedicated. Hence, after years of being on the same treadmill, you're going nowhere. Do you realize that you could be on the treadmill and still not lose weight? You know you could be on the treadmill, and although you lose weight, you have not shed the load. You know you could be on the, give me your bag, get on it. So he's on the treadmill and he's running. You got to do better than that, buff. And he's running. He's trying to shed weight, but he's carrying a load of unforgiveness, load of trouble, load of issues, load of wrong finances. And although he may look like he's shedding weight, but that doesn't get rid of the load. And therefore, he looks like he's walking, but he's going nowhere. Are you following what I'm saying? Many people are on this kind of treadmill mentality. It's like keeping up. You stop. Keep going. It's like keeping up appearances. On first impression of talking to them, you assume that they're going somewhere. They have like great conversations with you. They may even have great knowledge in some particular areas. But when you truly get to the bottom of it, they actually have not accomplished anything much. It's all talk and no action. They never do quite enough. And you can stop a bit. And so what you see them doing this. And when they want to talk about business, oh, you know what? This will happen. Oh, this will happen. Oh, I'm trying to put this together. I'm trying to package this together. I'm trying to package it. Nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. And some people are so much on the treadmill that I'm into business. Oh, I just acquired this. And they get on this. Keep going. And then suddenly they go onto their Facebook and they see that someone else has done better than them. And then they increase the speed. I need to catch up. And then suddenly, oh, I'm trying to do my album right now. And then they saw Calvin come up. Oh, I need to go faster. And then as they start to run after Calvin, they now find out that he's moved from rapping and singing, and now he's into acting. Oh, I have to go faster. And you know what? They're going so fast. They're trying to catch up, but they're not quite good enough. It's a treadmill mentality. Someone has just turned up the machine. And they're doing catch up. Stop. Treadmill mentality individuals are really challenged. Let me give you 3 mentalities. In this service, they even actually love you. Like the last service, they didn't care. And that's what happens to someone in the treadmill. You're running. You're tired. And right now you're acting as if, no, I'm all right. It's like keeping up appearances, innit? Let me give you 3 things about those treadmill mentalities. Treadmill mentality individuals, they are rarely challenged. They rarely take action. They research things forever. They're rarely satisfied. And all this is a part of a mindset going nowhere, putting on a facade as if they're doing so much or they're super busy, but they're not going anywhere. Have you seen, try it, bro. Have you seen he's sweating, but he still hasn't moved from this point? I'm planning. What are you doing with your life, bro? Everything is coming in order. There's someone here that I know that's always in business. Always in business. Nothing is happening. The treadmill mentality, people are always in a place of complacency. It's a place of being stuck. They're too comfortable. So you see what they do is they now get to the gym and they just stay on number one. Just one. At least I left home. I'm now in the gym. Have you seen those people, actually? Let me talk to you. Have you seen those ladies? Do you know that it is a fashion a statement when they're going to the gym? It's a fashion statement. They wear these leggings that is more expensive than some of our suits. They wear the leggings. They match the leggings with the trainers, with the top. And I just don't get it. Doctors, who goes to the gym with full makeup and comebacks and nothing has changed? Just the same makeup. They went in, they went out. You'll see that all made up, all hair in place. Everything is tough. And then, give me a phone. And then they get to the phone and they're still on their phone. And afterward, they do a selfie. Like, see? And they're on the phone and they're talking. And then, where are you? Then they FaceTime. Or WhatsApp, FaceTime, whatever FaceTime. Where are you? Oh, I'm in the gym. And some of you think I'm foolish? You put yourself on Instagram like you're in there. We know those who are there and those who are not there. That's why I stopped going there. Because they're a distraction. Who goes to the gym with a phone? Seriously. And you got a phone. You know why? Because they're still on number one, speed one. You know, they're on speed. They're complacent. They're stuck. And sometimes there's so much stuck in one place that they start to stink. A stagnant river breeds death. A stagnant river is always rusty. In fact, a stagnant river breeds mosquitoes and all kinds of diseases. And many people have this treadmill mentality. They're just on one place, not moving forward, and they're stagnant. An unmoving vehicle is destroyed by rust. Do you realize that if a house is not occupied for a long time, without anything happening to it, it starts to gradually dilapidate? The thing is that they mentally feel crippled. You know why? Because they're on it. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Crippled. Just in one place, one place, one place. And then they see someone else moving on. And they keep going. Come on, bro. I'm doing faster than you are. Come on. And they keep running, keep running, keep running. After a while, they slow down. I didn't tell him to stop. But he's exhausted. He's tired. He's run down. And many of us, even our Christian lives, is like someone who is on a treadmill. I was on the treadmill, trying to please people. Pastor, I'm sick. I'm there. Pastor, I've just had a child. I'm there. Pastor, bless my house. I'm there. Some marriage failed. It's my fault. Some children were sick in the hospital. It's my fault. The church is falling apart. People are not coming. They said, I'm not preaching about Jesus. They said, there's no sawdust. After a while, it was here that I fell apart. Treadmill mentality. I was exhausted. Get back on it, bro. Run. That's how our Christian life is. This image is not attractive. And many people are not in church because this is what they can see. We're exhausted. There's no smile on our face for the gospel that we believe in. It's only Christians that I find this concept really difficult for. They won't change anything. Sometimes it is not praying. You're in debt. You're in financial debt. You need wisdom. See what my people will do. They will get on the treadmill. Prayer. We're fasting. Matabaha. Enemies of finances. Go! You're exhausted. The enemy is not outside. It is in me. He said to them, you've gone around this mountain too much. It's only 1:6-7. It's enough. You stayed here too much. Sometimes you need wisdom. I was speaking to a son and daughter who were about to get married, and we were having this one wisdom. And there were some issues with finances. I said, step off. Tell your parents, I'm stepping off. And see what God will do. They followed the same instruction as it was hard, and things started to open up. Because many times we want to please people where we should step off. Get rid of old habits. Sometimes it's difficult to break from where you're coming from. Some people, they're married to Fred, but they still have Francis in their mentality. Some people are married to Ty, but they're still thinking about Tayo. That's not happening in my life. Some people, they're married to Talikwa, but still, while they're married or in a relationship, they're thinking about Mamikwa. No wonder the other person is tired. So am I. Okay, I'm coming. You're exhausted. You have to get rid of the old things. Some people have changed church, but not changed attitudes. So you walk into this church with the same attitude. It was Pastor Chris that offended you. Not the Chris you know. Just got some name. Sorry. I'm not talking about Pastor Chris, who you are. I just plucked a name. You left Pastor Chris, and now you're with Pastor Christopher. But you brought the attitude of that church into a new place. Old wine can't go into new wineskin. The mind of Egypt could not change. The mind of Egypt was not prepared for battles. The mind of Egypt was not ready for a fight. They looked one way to Canaan, but they thought another way about Egypt. They talked freedom, but they thought slavery. To reach for one, you have to turn your back on the other. You can't oscillate between two mentalities. You have to step off to step up, but it's all about you.
What a powerful message. I'm sure one, if not many of you were blessed by that word. For more information, please see contact details below. God bless. See you again next time.